also comes a fundamental thing, which is, look, Hamas has to realize, and Hamas, not to get too much into, the
Cowboy Nation, y'all already know who it is. Cowboy Nation, the NFL offseason is a very, very, very long season, baby. And honestly, we're waiting on the NFL draft. It's real quiet in the league, baby, because we're waiting on a draft. Draft day is coming real soon. Come on. Welcome to the Gridiron Sports Podcast. I am your wonderful host, Majestic Sounds. That's right, baby. Clap it up for your guy. And welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but it's been pretty quiet in the league because everybody is waiting on April the 23rd through the 25th, and that is the NFL Draft. Yes, Cowboy Nation, so that's what everyone is waiting on, but I still want to jump on to say, hey, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are in the world. So just want to jump on and give you guys another update. It's just cool to get updates now that we are in the month of April. So I'm going to give you guys an update. We're going to talk about the draft. Obviously, we're going to talk about that. But as of now, if I were to grade the Dallas Cowboys, what they have done thus far during the offseason, I give them a solid B. Not a B minus, not a B plus, but a solid B. I do like the first wave of it. I do like the fact that they didn't sit on their hands. Traditionally, the Cowboys sit on their hands, and I'm referring to the front office, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay to a degree. But they haven't done that. This is the second year in a row. And, you know, when you're bringing in a new coaching staff, or a new defensive coordinator, and Christian Parker, you're going to have to accommodate this guy. You can't hang him out there and leave him out to dry. You're going to have to accommodate this guy. You're going to have to invest in him. You're going to have to believe in him. And so far, the Dallas Cowboys have done just that during the first wave of free agency. I do like the additions to our team, to our coaching staff thus far. And now we're just waiting on the draft, as I previously stated. Not only that, we're also waiting on the second wave of free agency. As you know, we got George Pickens on the franchise tag. One can argue he don't need to play on that tag. Now, I do have some breaking news for you. Let me give you this breaking news before I go any further. All right, Cowboy Nation, let me read this off to you, and then we'll talk a little bit about the draft, talk about this good news. It just depends on what you like and what you don't like. So to me, it's actually good news, and I will talk about this to you extensively here after I read this off to you, and we'll talk about it. All right, so as of April 2026, the Dallas Cowboys are retooling their roster under a new, somebody help me say, a new 3-4 defensive philosophy. Trading away, one can argue, not a good idea, trading away DTs after paying my guy Osa Odighizuwa and Solomon Thomas. Key 2026 moves include signing running back Javonte Williams to a 3-year deal with a pretty good signing bonus, I might add, retaining defensive end Sam Williams, aka Slam Williams, and I want him to do a little bit more this year, and adding safety Jalen Thompson while waiving linebacker Logan Wilson to clear up some cap space for the salary cap. Now let's skip down to this defense because that's what I really want to zero in on. So the team is transitioning to a 3-4 front under new coaching, and we all know who the new defensive coordinator is, Christian Parker. Heavily restructuring the defensive line, key defensive players now include DTs, Kenny Clark. And I can't knock him, but he ain't no Michael Parsons, obviously, so don't get me started on that. Quentin Williams and linebacker Maris Leofau, and of course Agent Zero, DeMarvion Overshawn. Let's talk about this transactions and injuries and injuries before we talk about the draft and this new defensive scheme. So linebacker, as I just stated, Logan Wilson have been waived. We got TJ Bass, Malik Davis, and Javonte Williams. All of those was placed on IR, injury reserve. And then you got my boy Josh Butler and running back Bia Maffa placed on activated, basically, while these other guys have been put on IR as of April this month. And then we got down here the draft focus. So the team is heavily scouting internal defensive lines prospects to fit in their new larger defensive front. So this is basically saying that they want bigger guys up front since we running the 3-4. So just keep a lookout for that during a draft, and then future roster, which includes the rookies Zion Childress and our boy Trayshawn Holden. So I'm looking forward to see what Trayshawn Holden bring to the table, if they're actually going to get this guy some playing time. Now let's go back and talk about this draft real quick. I give you guys my opinion on this 3-4. So the draft, let's just be honest, Cowboy Nation, if an offensive player is available and we're looking at probably like a wide receiver or a tight end, the Dallas Cowboys, if they feel like spending that money, if the guy's not too high and he's kind of down, if teams pass on a particular guy, then the Dallas Cowboys will do that, and you're supposed to. Come on, y'all. Let's be realistic now. Let's keep it real. If you got a chance to get Jeremiah Love, you're going to get him. Come on. You're supposed to try to get the top 100 players in the draft. If you got a chance to get the top tight end that's coming in the draft, you're going to get them. Shout out to Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay. That's what they're going to do. And I can't even argue with that. You want to get the best player available. Now, the focus is defense. My God, our defense was horrible this past season. Bottom of the league, scraping the bottom of the barrel. In every statistical defensive category, we were bottom of the league. So I get it. We should focus on defense, and not just the defensive line. We should bring in a linebacker. We should bring in a safety. We should bring in arguably 2 corners. You want to plan for the future. Now, you don't want to go to the draft on an empty stomach, and we're not. So I'm glad that the Dallas Cowboys did not sit on their hands during the first wave of free agency. I'm glad we're not going into the draft on an empty stomach. But you do want to play it smart. You do want to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, and you do want to plan for the future. To me, that's what the draft really is about. 9 times out of 10, the person you draft is going to take them 3 years to develop that guy, said player. That's just how it goes. Very rarely do you see a guy come in and make an instant impact coming fresh out of college into the National Football League. That is very rare. Very rare. And it all depends on your coaching. It depends on the defense. It depends on the position you play as well. So we should focus on defense. Defense wins championships. Now, offense may get you there, but baby, you better have a defense if you're trying to win a championship, notably a Super Bowl. That's my spiel on that. Let's talk about this 3-4 defense. Now, traditionally, I'm more with the 4-3 defense, and for those of you who don't understand, that's your front line. When you're talking about a 4-3 or a 3-4, you basically, if you're running the 4-3, you got 4 guys on your defensive line with their hands in the ground. Those are the first guys. That's your first line of defense. And then the 3 guys are your linebackers. But the Dallas Cowboys are going with a different philosophy. They're going with the 3 downmen. and the 4 linebackers. Now, that's a lot of pressure on your linebacker. From hook to flat, baby, you got a lot of ground to cover. Plus A gap and B gap. So you got to have those stout guys that can clog up the A gap and the B gap. And the linebackers have to diagnose the plays extremely fast. So you got to diagnose the play. You got to see if it's a run play or a pass play. And you got to see what type of run play, what type of pass play. So you have to diagnose plays post-snap and pre-snap. So that is a lot of responsibility on your linebackers. Now, one could argue it's a lot of responsibility on the safeties as well, especially on third down, on obvious passing downs. So, man, you got a lot of work to do in the 3-4. Now, I'm not going to sneeze on it. I'm not going to look down on it. Let's see what Christian Parker can bring to the table. We're seeing what Matt Eberflus wasn't. Let me say that loud and clear. Wasn't able to do with the 4-3. Let's see what Christian Parker is able to do with the 3-4 and the people that he brought in and the players that he brought in, the coaching and the players. If you've been keeping up with the roster, he's brought in his own coaching staff and he's bringing in players. So, and they're talking about letting him draft some defensive guys. I do commend Dallas in the front office for trusting him and, helping him. Don't bring nobody in and you're not going to support them. You're not going to help them. So that's pretty cool for Dallas for the second year in a row to really be proactive in the first wave of free agency. So now we just got to sit back and see what they do in the draft, Cowboy Nation, and what they do with the second wave of free agency. All right, that's all I have for you today. Make sure y'all subscribe to this particular podcast. Now, I know you guys be ear hustling. I don't mind your ear hustling, but just make sure you subscribe. Everybody trying to get their subscribers up. Come on, man. We are trying to do the same thing. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us the thumbs up too while you're at it. And share this content because sharing is caring. Share it with a friend. Share it with a neighbor. Share it with a stranger. Share it with your significant other and even your enemy. And maybe, and just maybe, y'all might become cool after talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones in the NFL draft. DC for life.
DJ BJ made this joint. Who you think you is?